If you're like me, you're probably looking forward to 2023 and wondering what will be the next mega role-playing game. And I have the answer for you. It's Hogwarts Legacy, a new title set to launch early next year, and I'm here to tell you about it, why it looks promising, why you should be interested. Developed by Avalanche Studios and published by Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment, Hogwarts Legacy is described as an immersive open-world action RPG set in the world first introduced in the Harry Potter books. Welcome back, gang. It's Deltia from Deltiasgaming.com, and in this video, I'm going to share 10 things you must know about Hogwarts Legacy following a recent hour-long live-stream gameplay reveal. Let's get started with number 10, the release date and versions of the game. The game will officially launch on February 10th, 2023 on PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S, as well as PC. The developer has announced that Nintendo's Switch release date will be revealed in the future. Hogwarts Legacy will be a single-player game, not an MMO, and will not have any online or co-op gameplay. While this might be disappointing to some, I'm refreshed the entire focus will be solo, single-player exploration and storytelling. You can currently pre-order the game and it comes in one of 3 editions. The first is the Standard Edition, which costs around $60 and comes with the base game along with an Onyx Hippogriff mount. If you're purchasing this on PlayStation, you get access to Phil's Potion recipe, as well as exclusive Haunted Hogsmeade shop quest. Players who complete said quest and dungeon will also get access to their own shop in Hogsmeade, where they can sell items and gear at rates better than anywhere else in the game. Next is the Deluxe Edition, which costs $70 and includes the base game, the same Hippogriff mount, and an exciting 72 hours of early access to the game. Again, PlayStation owners will get their exclusive recipe in the Hogsmeade quest. The Deluxe Edition also comes with Dark Arts Pack, which includes a Thestral mount as well as Dark Art cosmetics and a Dark Art Battle Arena. Lastly, it's a Collector's Edition, which will cost a whopping $300. This will include all the extra digital content, along with the special Kelpie robe cosmetic for your character. But what really sets this version apart are the additional real-life physical components you'll receive in the mail. The game itself comes in a steel case, and you will also receive a life-size floating ancient magic wand with book base. Regardless of your version, you're going to want to start your character, and the creator looks very detailed, and that's number 9, Character Creator. Before you can dive into any story and the mystery surrounding your arrival on Hogwarts, you'll first need to create your student character. According to the game director, the developers put a lot of work into the character creator to give the player the opportunity to create any character or any representation of themselves in game. In the recent live stream gameplay, Avalanche Software gave us a much closer look at this feature. The first step will be choose from a number of established presets. Once you choose a look that is closest to what you want, then there will be other additional tabs which you can modify the character's appearance further. The Faceware tab lets you change the face shape, skin color, and has an option to give your character glasses. The hairstyle menu is pretty self-explanatory, but there are some great varieties for options for both male and female characters, and for your color, you can choose almost any color of the rainbow. The Complexion tab allows for deeper customization of your character's face, where you can choose to add freckles, moles, and even scars. The Eyebrow tab not only lets you edit the obvious eyebrow shape, but its size, and also you can choose the color. The Finalize tab brings it all together, letting you pick a couple of different character voices, set the difficulty for the game, give your character their name, and choose their dormitory. The only thing you don't really see here is choosing your character's house. The developers have made this clear. This is something which players get to choose. It's not random, but is likely something the players won't encounter until their in-game sorting ceremony occurs. Pre-launch, there is one way to get your house and wand sorted through 2 external websites, Wizarding World and Warner Brother Games. First thing you need to do is take the quiz in Wizarding World, and then you're going to be able to log in and authorize Warner Brother Games to link up with the Wizarding World. When these both are linked up and synced up, that's all you need in order to get your house and your wand sorted. And you'll also get some perks, a Beak Skull mask, and a House Fan Attic School robe. The robe is also showed in some of the gameplay reveals, so make sure to do this early on. Link in the description below if you need access or a place to start with these websites. Also, if you decide later on in the game that there are certain elements of your character's look which you don't like, there will be an opportunity to change some of them after the fact. In Hogsmeade, there will be a barbershop where you can change out your color or your style of your hair, as well as some kind of tailor tailor shop where you can change the look of your character's outfit. But that's not it. And number 8, story and setting. Set in the wildly popular magical world of Harry Potter series, the game takes place at the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry in the late 1800s. Players will get to create their own student character and attend classes, learn spells, create potions, and more as they immerse themselves in student life. But there is also a deeper story thread to explore as students find themselves holding the key to an ancient secret which threatens the wizarding world. The player's character is a new student at Hogwarts, but for reason yet unclear is starting as a late 5th year. They'll have some catching up to do both with their studies and other students in the social life of school. The player character will come to find that they possess the unique ability to manipulate powerful ancient hidden magic in the wizarding world. This forgotten magic is now somehow returned, and the player will have uncovered who or what is behind the resurgence of this old power, as well as discover those who might seek to harness it for their own nefarious purposes. Next up, we have number 7, and that's questing. Questing is a major part of any single-player RPG, whether your character is working their way through the main story or is picking up side quests. There will be all kinds of quests, specifically fetch quests, which are a staple in the genre, but other side quests may have you discovering deeper world secrets or providing you with more in-depth information about the larger narrative. The developers have said that players will encounter various quests in a storyline that will influence the witch or wizard they choose to become. While this might suggest that the game has some kind of a morality system in place, in the case of Hogwarts Legacy, this will not be a part of the gameplay, but your player's decision will have an impact. Recently, Avalanche Software confirmed that the player's choice will determine the ending of the game, and choices, both large and seemingly small, can influence this outcome. This means that there are multiple ways to end the game, adding a huge amount of motivation for fans to go back, play through the game over and over again. So now you're ready to fire up the game? What about classes? Glad you asked, that's number 6. Students will be able to attend most important standard classes at Hogwarts, including Charms, Defense Against the Dark Arts, Potions, and Herbology. Attending classes is likely the way you will unlock or learn new spells and potion recipes, as well as how you level up your proficiency in them. Based on what we've seen in the gameplay and trailers, the Defense Against the Dark Art class is also where we begin the fundamentals of combat. You'll even get to see and use a dueling stage that makes an appearance in the movies. More on combat later, but personally, I can't wait to see my opponents flying through the air. It's reasonable to assume there will be additional classes beyond these which the player can attend. Flying on Broomstick is a mode of transportation which has been confirmed for the developers for the game in your story. You'll be able to learn and unlock and hone your skills for the flying class. As an aside, I am sorry to say that Quidditch is confirmed not to be a part of the game upon release. I have hopes this may be added in the future, but that's just speculation on my part. In a state of play video from earlier this year, we got also a mention of Care of Magical Creatures class. The developers have confirmed that players will be able to tame, mount, and ride some magical beasts in Hogwarts, and a class would likely be necessary to learn these specialized techniques. Other smaller magical creatures, such as a mooncalf, have also popped up in the trailer, along with other large, dangerous, like dragons. We're clearly going to need all the knowledge we can get. Next up, we have number 5, and that's the important one, characters. Given the setting of the game in the late 1800s, you will obviously not come across any of the main characters from the original Harry Potter books. And even though wizards can have extraordinarily long lives, it is unlikely that any of the Hogwarts professors will be ones we have come to know and love, or hate, as in case may be. I will certainly say there is a super small sliver of a chance that perhaps some professor or a certain headmaster who is much older in the Harry Potter books could appear as a surprise student cameo in the game. But that's entirely wishful thinking on my part and nothing the studio has promised. Just imagine finding out about Ronald Weasley's grandmother. Will we meet Professor McGonagall's auntie, or Draco Malfoy's relative as one of the Hogwarts teachers, or maybe a foe? The options are countless here, but I have to admit encountering a well-known character's ancestor would be a pleasant surprise. However, with Hogwarts being a magical castle, that doesn't mean there aren't familiar faces floating around. And I mean that literally. You have Gryffindor's ghost, nearly headless Nick, is seen speaking with characters in the trailers. Professor Binns is not alive and well, and he establishes his tradition of putting students to sleep in history of magic classes. And resident Hogwarts Peeves popped up in a recent livestream castle tour, causing trouble from some other unfortunate student. I don't think it's unreasonable to assume that the other ghosts will be hovering around, and some you may only meet depending on what house your character is in, which could add something to the game's replayability. Moving along, and that's companions, and that's number 4. One important element of many single-player RPGs are companions, characters you run into along the way who may join you in-game journey. The best games, these characters are robust and three-dimensional. They have their own unique personalities and often compelling backstories, which they'll open up and tell you more about as you gain their trust. For Hogwarts Legacy, we have 4 confirmed companions so far. First is Sebastian Solos, a Slytherin student. He is described as being a charming and extroverted boy who won't shy away from trouble. His twin, Annie, suffers from a mysterious curse, however, and like any true Slytherin, Sebastian is willing to go to any lengths to find her a cure, even tampering with the dark arts. Next character up is Nastasi, a Gryffindor student who is originally from Africa. She moved to the United Kingdom with her mother, who has taken a position at Hogwarts as the new divination professor. This will give her a powerful common thread with the player character, as they both adjust to a new magical environment at Hogwarts. The third companion is a younger Hufflepuff student named Poppy Sweetie. She brings a bright and sunny personality, but is shy and more comfortable around her beloved magical creatures than she is around other students. I can relate. And the most recent confirmed companion is a Ravenclaw student, Amit Thakur. He loves astronomy and already has plans to become a famous wizarding historian. Amit won't hesitate to help a friend in need, even if it means he finds himself in over his head. There hasn't been any more information about these companions or how they will work in the game. Can you only befriend the student from the same house as your character, or can you befriend all 4? And there are other possible non-student or maybe even non-human companions. It will be exciting to discover the answer to these questions and more, and how they affect the game's replayability. Moving on to number 3, and that's Room of the Requirement. The Room of the Requirement becomes a valuable and important gathering location for our heroes in the latter half of the original Harry Potter series. Many fans will remember the Room of Requirement was a secret known only to a few in the castle, for the room would not appear unless a person nearby was in great need of it, and depending on that specific need, it would transform itself into whatever would fulfill that pressing wish. From what we've seen in the gameplay trailers, it appears that the player character will discover the Room of Requirement at some point with the help of a house elf named Deke. True to form, the room will magically perceive the need of our student has for catching up on their studies, as well as the possible need for a secret hideaway as they sink deeper into the plot of the game, and provides them with the space to improve their magical skills. From what we've seen in the trailer so far, this includes a potion station, a potting station, along with planters in which you can grow magical plants for their ingredients, and what appears to be a magical loom which can help weave new and improved gear. A vivarium can be discovered and used to nurture and raise your own menagerie of magical creatures. In fact, this new doorway appears to lead to an even larger outdoor space which you can customize, with additional structures to reflect your character's personality and the type of magic they have choose to specialize in. This new dimension of the Room of the Requirement is something I can't wait to see more. Is this the equivalent of RPG housing? Moving along to number 2, that's exploration. While likely not the same kind of hugely open world game such as Skyrim or what Starfield plans to be in the future, Hogwarts Legacy will still have lots of areas for exploration and self-discovery in the game. On the game's website, Avalanche Software states that the player may freely roam Hogwarts Hogsmeade and the Forbidden Forest and the surrounding overland area. The recent live stream from Avalanche Software takes viewers on a tour of Hogwarts, teasing us mostly with hallways and the entrance to larger spaces, which we can't wait to visit. But even an abbreviated tour demonstrates the vast extent of the castle. The player will likely start out in the dormitories and commons area for their particular house, and once outside the castle, castle itself have many classrooms to visit, along with the library, greenhouse, observatory, dungeons, office, the grand hall, the moving staircase, and more. Outside of the castle, the player will find a courtyard space, quidditch pitch, the owlery, and the forbidden forest. How big the forest is and how deep the player's character can travel into it remains to be seen, but I know myself and many other fans will be excited to meet the centaurs and other magical creatures which call the forest home. Hogsmeade will also be available. Not only will this location play a part in the main story, but there are a variety of shops available for you to buy all kinds of different magical items. From a magical bookshop to potion ingredients, recipes at Pippin's Potions, seed for growing magical plants, a wizard tailor shop for your gear, and even a branch of Ollivanders. Going to Hogsmeade won't just be fun student field trip, but necessary for your character's development. And last, but certainly not least, in my favorite portion of this video, that's combat, number 1. All this class time studying you're putting into Hogwarts has ultimately culminated into something special, am I right? That's combat. We get a glimpse of not only a training session, but a multi-NPC duel. Breaking down the HUD in the user interface, you can see the use of 4 spells in the lower right corner, along with the potion for healing, and what appears to be combos, landing, consecutive attacks, and 2 bits of UI which were not discussed. One, just above your health, a blue flame that seems to be filled during combat. This could be speculating here, a super and ultimate once filled, along with what appears to be some sort of consumable on the left-hand side. From what we know, there are over 20 slottable spells which you can learn over the course of the game, and these diamonds are what the player can switch in and out as needed, shown as the right D-pad on the user interface. These diamonds are what allows players to swap in and out spells quickly and have access to more, as the developers wanted the players to rapidly access a variety of spell combinations. These spells will also have cooldowns, which seem to go pretty quick, and each spell will have an advancement system which has yet to be revealed. During the combat training, we got a glimpse of combos and using a basic or light attack in conjunction with abilities. The combat seems to be a mix of light or basic attack frequently, with spells maybe similar to a game like New World or Elden Ring. Not entirely light attack or entirely spell dependent, but a blend, giving the player something to do using frequent cooldowns, and timing really matters. The next portion of the fight scene shows a group of students battling using a spell called Protego, giving you a big shield of protection. Your enemy players have this also, and the color symbolizes the spells you need to cast in opposition in order to break that shield and allow for damage. You can start seeing the combat is much more robust and action-oriented than a simple button masher. Lastly, you'll have an orangish box pop up around your head just before an incoming attack. This allows the player with high reflexes to react, counter this attack, and you can see the back and forth ebb and flow of combat, the pacing, and the sheer fun this could be. This is what has me most excited for the game, and I think you should be as well. For years, I've wanted to roam Hogwarts and not have to pay $5,000 to travel to Florida. Now I can do it with my own character, my own adventure, and make some fun and unique builds along the way. But what do you think? Leave me a comment below, and if you wish me to cover this game and make some guides, smash that thumbs up. Or if you got something out of it, smash the thumbs up as well. For more Hogwarts Legacy content, make sure to check out my website, Deltiasgaming.com, where we're actively posting on the game and we'll make guides when it's released. Thanks for watching.